When I actually got my first full-time job in video, I'd actually still never picked up a camera before. Okay, so picture this, it's 2009, I'm about 14, 15 years old, and if I'm not sleeping and I'm not at school, then I'm pretty much gaming, playing the Xbox 360, playing Call of Duty specifically. Looking back on that, I probably had a little bit of an obsession, but funnily enough, playing those games is actually the sole reason why I ended up getting a career in video. And in today's video, I want to tell you how that happened. First of all, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all good. This video is going to be a little bit off script. I didn't really write anything for it. I just wanted to kind of tell this story as I thought it would be something interesting. So like I said, I was really obsessed with video games back in the day, Call of Duty mostly, and actually this isn't my first YouTube channel. It's still up, but I have a YouTube channel which I don't post content on anymore. I did a lot when I was younger, and I basically made gaming videos. Kind of back when gaming videos were a new thing, kind of right at the start of like Call of Duty videos, which now, if you know anything about that world, is massive. And yeah, that taught me a hell of a lot of the things that I actually still do today. So for those of you that aren't really familiar with Call of Duty, that's fine, you don't really need to know it, but I'm sure most of you have at least seen it or have played it. So what me and a bunch of other people from around the world used to do is we basically used to just record ourselves playing Call of Duty, and we would take the best sort of clips, the best little snippets of things we did in the game, and we would put them together into little videos, add some nice music, sound effects, things like that, and we'd post them online. And there was actually a community that grew around that, and it became increasingly more popular as the years went on. And I actually met a lot of people back then who are now huge on YouTube doing gaming still. But yeah, that channel's still up there. I haven't posted to it in about 6 years or 7 years or something like that. But it did give me a flavour for YouTube and things like that. And that actually kind of was one of the reasons why I wanted to get back into doing YouTube. Probably why I've got this channel. So how does this actually have anything to do with the sort of videos that I shoot now, the career I have in videography now? Well, out with actually playing the games, I did edit all my own content, so I had to learn editing. And I remember back then I was using Sony Vegas 7 or 8 or 9. I used a few of them for over like a span of 5 or 6 years. And that kind of led to me self-teaching myself how to do editing, basic cutting to music, you know, effects and things like that. I had never picked up a camera in my life at that point, but I had a really good grasp in editing, and editing was one of the best things about it for me. I really enjoyed it. It's funny comparing that world to the world that I'm in now. I mean, in so many ways it's very similar. I remember that a big part of creating these videos for someone like me was we would want to capture parts of the game that looked good to sort of supplement into the clips. So effectively we were shooting B-roll within the game. Funnily enough, it was actually, they used to get called cinematics. Anybody in that field would call it shooting cinematics, which is kind of ironic now because cinematic's a massive term in this industry. Gets used in all different levels and for all different reasons. I'll show some examples of it on screen, but we would fly around the map and you would capture parts of the map and almost be shooting, you know, effectively wide angle B-roll, establishing shots, things that you could put titles to, etc. That is so similar to, you know, flying a drone and, you know, having a camera and a gimbal, getting big wide shots. Another strange comparison would be that as the sort of like years went by doing this, different games got popular, like different versions of Call of Duty. So a different style of video would become popular for like 6 months and everyone would be doing it. And then it would change to something else and people were always looking for the newest thing. And that's so similar to this field of YouTube. Cinematic B-roll was a massive thing and everybody was trying to do that like last year, 2 years ago. And then it kind of went away and now people are looking for other things to be the next big thing. It was the exact same. And people were always just looking for the next style of Call of Duty video that would be popular. Being in that field of just kind of creating content for people around the world, and at the time having like a fairly decent sized audience for, you know, 8-10 years ago, it was great to be able to post things and get a little bit of feedback. And I think that's what led me to want to try and give YouTube another go. Purely just, I loved interacting with people, you know, creating something, posting it, getting a little bit of feedback. That's kind of what I hope to do with this channel. I hope to kind of have that community, try and build it up a little bit so that there's people having discussions and just people enjoying the content really. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. How did this end up in me getting into the field that I'm in now? How did this end up in me getting a career in video? The style of videos changed over the years and I just kind of lost my love for it. So I moved on, and at the time I was leaving school and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I went to college and I did sound production because I was quite interested in music at the time. One of the modules on that course was stripping all the audio from a trailer and creating the audio and putting it back in. So effectively doing your own sound design, which obviously I do a lot of now. So I really enjoyed that part of the course, and it kind of got me thinking, maybe I should give editing a go again, but I didn't really have anything to edit. So at that time on my CV or my resume, I basically had the fact that I'd created a YouTube channel that had had somewhat success for the time. I'd been part of bigger kind of collaboration YouTube channels that were much bigger than mine, which had a little bit of success too. And I used that to beef up my CV a little bit. Any of the interviews I went into, they always asked me specifically about it, and I think businesses were always looking for somebody who was in the social media field and knew a little bit about that world. So they were always intrigued that if you could build something online, then you might be able to help them do it. And I was going for those kind of jobs. When I actually got my first full-time job in video, I'd actually still never picked up a camera before. All I knew was editing, and I knew that if I could convince them that I could create a good video, then I would be able to sort of pick up the camera stuff pretty quickly. Thinking back on it, I'm a bit like, how the hell did I get away with that? And to be honest, when I think about it, I kind of just faked it till I made it for the first 6 months. I had a camera that the work provided me with, and I just went online, Skillshare, things like that, and I just taught myself everything that I could find out, what ISO was, what aperture was, just how to shoot, what different frame rates were, like lighting. I just kind of taught myself it, and month by month I got better at it. And it's quite funny when I think back to how just making these silly videos before YouTube was the way it is now, so most of my friends and family didn't really understand it. It's funny looking back at that and then thinking that actually led me to this career, led me to doing something that I really, really love. So yeah, I suppose if you are someone who's young, or you don't have to be young, but if you have a passion, you might find that down the line you might be able to transfer those skills into something like a proper career. I know I did, so I kind of always, I suppose, subconsciously gravitated towards doing something that I actually had a passion about, which I suppose was editing. And then I suppose I picked up filming, as part of that, because obviously it's hand in hand. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to London next week, so I'm actually going to film some stuff, maybe a little bit of a vlog. I got that new lens I really want to try out, the 16-35, so I might shoot some sort of sample footage for that and make a video around that. Thanks very much for tuning in and sticking to the end if you did. Subscribe if you haven't, leave a like, that would be great. And I'll see you guys in the next one.